Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley trading video. In this one we're going to be going through our daily recap once again. Now this will be a quicker one because we did actually move out or miss out on half the trading day. I was just busy doing other things. So we didn't start the analysis pre-market like we normally do. But to carry on from last night, because obviously we do post a recap only halfway through the trading day. This is what we posted around midday market time. And again, what we were looking at is kind of price moving back into these anchored reacts on both the Qs and the SPYs. The Qs hit a lot earlier, but the SPY was the main play. As you can see, we had just hit the Qs earlier in the day, and then looking at the SPY level, this was a really clean trade to the penny at market close, and this gave us kind of a long bias coming into today's trading day, because normally when you catch up on these anchor VWAPs, it's just a buying opportunity before we do another big push up. So we had that, and then what we can see is, again, this is going from today's. So again, I was out, so this is just phone analysis. So quick phone analysis. We're expecting a back touch of these red anchored VWAPs. We already hit one on the QQQs, and so this means SPY is lagging. So what we normally mean by this is, if we see QQQs do something, is we expect SPY to do it. It's just going to do it a bit later. So we hit the first one on QQQs, so we're most likely going to also hit it on SPY. And then we've also got the lower anchor VWAP. So if we hit that on the QQQs, we then expect that to also hit on SPY. But again, it will probably be that bit later. So this was the analysis we could do while we were away from the desk. And what you can see is Qs tested this anchor VWAP, flown. Obviously, over on SPY, we weren't able to get that on the open, and so we still expect that tap 2 there. And so what do we get coming into about 10:45 market time? That's where we get a touch of that VWAP. Now, in this case, we couldn't really trade the lagging bounce on the second VWAP, and that's just because QQQ and SPY hit those at roughly the same time. But one thing you can do with these as well is, when you have the two of them playing but they hit at separate times, you can use the delayed one, so the lagging one, in this case SPY, to get your better entries, because we've seen on Q this one's already been taken out, and then we've also seen that one gets taken out earlier than the SPY one. And how do we know that? Because look at this red candle, it hits halfway through there. Whereas on the SPY, it hits near enough at the bottom. So when we see this, we know SPY is a later entry. So if we're going to hit them anyway, SPY is going to be the better entry. So SPY came into that range, provided a lovely bounce play off of those. So that was the anchor VWAP plays for today. Now going forward, what else can we do? Again, we got back to the market a bit later. We did just post, obviously, that these bounce quite nice. And again, that's what we're looking for. Then the next thing, we came back to the computer, or when I finally got to the computer, was 11:47 market time. We had already missed some good trades on SPY. We missed a great trade. Let me see if it's still up. We didn't post this in Discord because, again, it was already missed by the time we got there. Again, these are our ranges. We always go through these. What we can see is we opened. We kind of got the opening move straight into it. Not a massive range, and they're not always great ranges if you open near them. As you can see, we opened here. There's not a massive range, so your risk to reward may be skewed on this. Now, what we can see though is over on QQQs, the range is a lot larger. And what you can see is, obviously, we had the opening move, we filled some of it, then we moved out of this range, came into statistical mean. So what that means is, when we move away from this range, this is where we can get some nicer entries. Now, again, if we're trading into ranges like this, there's a few ways we can look to enter. If you're using the options, which is how I will trade these most of the time, it's just look at the risk to the rewards. You see, where are you targeting? You're targeting around the 476 or the 475 strikes. So you see what they're worth, and then you can trade the premium. So in a sense, if they're worth, say, $40, then say the 476s are $40. Now our target is going to be around 475.20. So that would be $80 in the money, or 80 cents in the money. So we know if we're buying these $40 options, even if this move happens right at the end of the day, we're still going to get a 2-to-1 risk to reward, or a 1-to-2 risk to reward. So again, we're risking $40 to make 80 at a minimum. Again, if it makes a move earlier in the day, then this will be a lot higher. Could probably be closer to 120 to 150. So again, that's how we manage the risk on the options. We let them expire worthless if we're wrong, but we just make sure that they have a positive risk to reward from our entry. So if you got up here, the risk to reward would have been really nice. But again, we didn't post this till 11:47, and again, just for the timestamp, 11:47 market time. Now we go over to 11:47 market time. Where is that? That is going to be this area here. Or was it 37? Let me just double check. No, 47. Cool. So it's when we're trading in this range here. Again, we're already in the zone. So once we enter the zone, so there's a lot more chance that we can break the whole way down and just go and fill the zone. So again, even getting an entry here, this is where I had straight up had to get a delayed entry. I did post it in the Discord, but they were around $40 entries. Yeah, you can see there they're going to be around $40 trading at that time. Again, time here is different because on my phone it's going to be UK time. Computer is set in US time. My phone is UK time. But again, options were sitting around $40 in that move. And again, it's all to do with the risk to reward. What will the options be worth when that zone gets filled? They're going to be worth at least $80 at a minimum. Or in this case, actually, we did pick the 475s, but we would expect the move to happen earlier in the day. And again, so these will do a bit better percentages, but you could have paid the 476s to be on the safer side. But again, what did these spike up to? $130 a contract. So again, risking 40 to make 130. Or again, even if you're only targeting 80, still positive risk to reward on a high probability setup. So that was the main trade plan from when I got to the chart. Again, there were definitely some opportunities we could have looked at. But again, really just too late to the charts, which is the sad thing. But again, I just wasn't around for it. But again, we can't force stuff. If I miss stuff, I've missed stuff. I've not been there. So what I could do is trade what I was given. And again, that's just going to be that setup there to trade to the downside, which still worked really nicely. So that was a nice thing. However, you will see the zone did slightly miss by just a few cents. We got down to 28. We wanted to move to 21. So normally what this means is sometimes you can try and get these re-entries. But again, we do kind of count that as the zone filled because again, that is literally 99% filled. So again, we're still taking profits on that. You can make good money on those. But what it did mean, and this is the only losing trade we took for the day, was when we spiked back out of this range, really just trying to kind of short this VWAP, expecting or hoping, I guess more in a hope sense. And again, with trading, you shouldn't really hope too much, and that's why you put only in small amounts. But the 476 contracts, I think they were around $15 when I bought them. So it was looking to get $15, and again, if it spiked all the way down to fill that, they'd be worth over $100. So in that sense, again, a good risk to reward. Is a chance of it playing out anywhere near as much? No, but again, you're just risking a small amount of the profits. Say, for example, you made $100 today, you trade one contract, you're risking 15% of your overall profit for the day to double your profit for the day. So the risk to rewards makes sense. In this case, again, we got a small spike down here, but again, overall, we just couldn't hold that move to the downside. So again, that final play of the day obviously didn't work. But that was the main thing that we could kind of play. And again, if you're in the Discord, please ask questions. So again, like Bradley was asking, Blue Trader was asking, how do we manage the risk? Again, kind of just broke it down. That's why we're looking for these good option values where you're looking to make at least 100% on them. So your stop loss is essentially them expiring worthless. At least that's how I look to trade the options. Now as well, one thing just to note, as I did talk about it, I thought I put it in the Discord, it's not actually in here. But again, we talk about magnets a lot of the time. Normally when you come this close, you would normally magnet the level. In this case we didn't, and it would have also filled the gap from yesterday. A bit of a surprise that we didn't do that final push down, but again, that's why we definitely locked in profits along the way, because we could have definitely, if you're only trading exactly to the TP, obviously that wouldn't hit off here because it missed by 7 cents. And again, we would have expected a second magnet move all the way kind of down to that 50 SMA. But in this case, again, we just slightly shied it. So again, it's all about taking profits and managing your risk on the way down. Because if you're looking for things to work exactly perfectly, you're going to lose money a lot of the time. Because again, markets don't work perfectly. So it's all about having your bias, trading it as well as you can. And that's really the main trade plan. But overall, that was everything we kind of posted in the Discord. The main trade opportunities was really, again, just the SPY bounce, hit to the penny after hours. Also, that's the QQQ ones. Still would have made money on the options, but the SPY one was the perfect one, which provided a lovely bounce into today. And then again, we gap above these VWAPs. We need the retest, so that provided us a bit of a short bias play. coming into today. And then again, we also then had those ranges I provided in the Discord. I don't always show you where I get those from. It's a bit more something I don't really want getting out there as much, so I'll provide you the zones. I'm just not going to really show you how I got them. But again, both for SPY and QQQ's kind of most likely going to fill those. So again, we're trading towards them, just adding to our short bias thesis for the day. But overall, that was the trade plan for Friday. Again, we'll be back on Monday, trying to come up with these same trade plans. And again, we'll be posting everything in the Discord. It's in the description if you want to join it. And again, we'll obviously be doing a recap at probably midday Monday. So I hope to see you in that. And that's it. Peace.